You write in your book about you call this a generational challenge. Unquestionably, the threats we face constitute a generational challenge to our nation. What do you mean by that?
What I mean is that the 21st century is a different kind of warfare than the 20th century. 20th century, we were used to having massed armies. You know, the enemy came over the hill. You could see the cloud of dust. People wore uniforms, and there were a set of rules and principles that were very clear. 21st century is different. The enemy is networked. The line between the military and the criminal has really been obliterated. We have to use a combination of defense and law enforcement. We can't choose one or the other. So we're facing a new kind of warfare. It's unfortunately leveraged by the technological revolution, which means that a smaller and smaller number of people can do more and more damage, as we saw in 9/11. And that means we have to completely retool and reconfigure our strategy and our menu of options in dealing with this kind of threat. We can't afford to have boxes and silos anymore. We have to have an open architecture for how we deal with this new, very, very dangerous challenge.
And do you think the way the intelligence community is organized today is better than it was?
It's clearly,
and have we gotten to that point where we're sharing?
Peter, it's clearly better, and there is more sharing, but it's not completely where it needs to be. And I'd say there are a couple of areas where that's true. One is we still tend to view what goes on overseas and what goes on over here as two separate domains. And the fact of the matter is, particularly with the Internet, you can't draw that distinction. So we have to have a more seamless intelligence capability. The second thing is our legal principles have not kept up with the new challenges. You know, one of the problems I think we faced right after 9/11 is rules had been written for dealing with foreign intelligence and how we surveil it back in the days of, you know, we were worried about the Soviet Union or other countries. And while we still have concerns about nation states, the issue of terrorism is now equal in importance. And we didn't have a legal model that helped us deal with that. So one of the things I think Congress hasn't done and needs to do is to actually sit down and think through in a bipartisan way, what is the legal architecture we need to deal with this 21st century challenge?